What is up, everyone? Welcome back to an Aftershow channel. I'm your host, Loki Feliciano. With me, as always, is Luis Serrano. Welcome to Aftershow. Yes, the show where we talk about series, theories, Easter eggs, spoilers, the whole thing. Today we're covering Loki, the season finale. It's not series finale, but that's not the case. It's the season finale. If you haven't seen our latest Loki coverages, make sure to click the link. I think pretty sure it comes up here to go watch those and watch this one. If you haven't seen Loki at all, what are you doing? This is the finale. Get out of here. We're going to be talking spoilers. So go watch Loki and then come back here. I want to start the video off saying, please go leave a like because I'm going to start doing these now. I hated it, but didn't want to do it. But look at me now. Go leave a like. Like the video, please. It helps. Thank you. Now, Louis, give us a bit of a summary for this episode. What did we get?
This episode starts off just, where Sylvie and Loki left it off, in that castle. And the beginning is just it has such a cool buildup. Like you kind of so many people have been speculating, so many theories. And there's a bit of a buildup. You don't get it yet. You first had that bit with Miss Minutes, and everyone's just like, "Oh my God, show me who is in this castle." And then you see Kang, in a sense. You get, in a sense, Kang, and it is just not what I expected.
It wasn't. So fun fact: we got excited because obviously we see the show early on, and then we talk to each other, then we record. We were like, Joe, our theories were right, but not really. So we were correct, but just it was shown in such an interesting way.
When people know Kang, he's a conqueror. He's a big fucking deal. He's a menace to the multiverse and everything of time. So to see this chill ass dude, just eating an apple and whatnot, I was just like. And I would look I saw his attire and it didn't look very Kangish. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, oh my God, it's Immortus. And he's just so chill. And he goes on to explain his existence, his meaning, his purpose. And it was just so interesting. Like from a comic fan perspective, that's another thing. This episode has a lot of exposition. It is a lot of talking.
Yes.
And I can understand why that puts off a couple people and why they probably thought the episode was boring.
Okay.
But from a comic fan perspective, he's just preaching gospel, and you kind of already know where it's heading.
Yeah.
And all this exposition.
As soon as he starts talking, you're just like, what? You're like, oh no. It's
he talks of his purpose, his creation of the TVA, where. And the Gambit, which I fucking adored so much. That was so well done, so well written. I was there's a 50-50 chance. I'm a dick, yes, but sometimes you have to be a dick. That's my role. And you guys could go on about your way, live your happy lives. Or you can kill me and you may or may not start a multiversal war. And yeah, it's spoiler alert, Sylvie straight up fucking kills Immortus, or He Who Remains, and the multiverse happens. And that was I never in my life, the chills I got when I saw that branch
looked beautiful. So here's the thing. Beautiful summary, by the way. That's basically what happens. Damn, it was you're right. Again, as comic book fans, where we've seen multiverses being shown in comic book panels, and I guess the only thing we've seen in the big screen was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, where they show the different timelines and whatnot. It looks very nice, it looks beautiful. But seeing it here again, Marvel with these budgets, bro, beautiful, just beautiful. I want to start us off with the intro. The actual intro to this episode, where we start seeing the multiverses. We see black holes next to other black holes. We see the branch of time being put into one circular motion. Well, it's not. It looks circular, and when you think about it, no, it's actually just going straight.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. That blew me away. And then you hear all these people talking, and you hear like we hear the heroes talk. Everyone's saying some of their iconic lines. Then you hear like actual like people, like famous. You hear artists. You hear great public figures throughout time. It was just really well made. That was the first thing that I had to talk about because man, like I want to rewatch the episode just for that scene because it is beautiful. Now, jumping right into it, I love how we are thrown. Like we were expecting a fight, and we're like, okay, so this is happening. And then we see Miss Minutes, and I'm like, obviously this is bullshit. Come on, let's move on. And then you're ready to meet He Who Remains, and I'm like, hold the fucking phone. So she said, oh, the Citadel. And I'm like, oh fuck yeah, Kang. We're gonna see Kang the Conqueror. But as soon as I said that, I remembered what something you said on the last. I believe it was the last after show. You were like, you didn't believe that they were gonna show Kang because it's way too early. And I somehow forgot that Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, which is the movie where Kang the Conqueror will be the big main, baddie, shows up in 2023. I completely forgot that. So I was like, you know what? You're right. It is definitely too soon for this movie for his appearance to come out. And I'm like, okay. But I'm like, but they're gonna show him. And when I see the actor who plays Khan, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then he's behaving not like Kang, like you said. And I'm like, I love this. Like I love this interpretation. And the thing is that they want you to think that he's Kang the Conqueror until he starts talking about himself. So I love how cocky he is, being the fact that he knows everything is gonna happen. So right out of the gate, we get He Who Remains, beautifully portrayed. I am not annoyed at all. That was really well made. I wasn't mad. And then him going like, oh, what's your name? Sylvie and Loki, questioning him like, who are you then? What's your name? It's like, I've been called many things. When he says a conqueror, I'm like, there's that subtle hint. I've been a conqueror. But I love how he explains from a variant of mine from the 31st century. So we're talking like in the future.
No, yeah, that's literally Kang's origin.
Yeah.
So like everything just feels like a puzzle. Like the more he spoke, you were just like, yeah I know exactly where this is going.
Exactly. He's like, oh, so a variant of mine from the 31st century. I'm like, yes. Like, yes, future. Come. Like, he found out that you can branch into realities. I'm like, oh my fucking God, are you fucking kidding me? Is he doing it? Is he fucking doing it? It's like, and then there was a war, there it is. He fucking said it. And then I love how he explains how he basically created the TVA to keep, essentially he's just protecting everyone from Kang.
Yeah.
And I love how he is portrayed as a villain, but everything he's saying makes complete sense. And I understand why Loki and Sylvie are pissed because again, he is basically just pruning whatever is an inconvenience, whatever can lead to it. He doesn't know if it's going to lead to it, but he can't take that chance. And I love how we get Loki and Sylvie pinned against each other because of it.
What I really enjoy is that how like Marvel can do, they can do this thing where like we're not starting at the very beginning of Kang's origin. We're kind of like already at the end, but we're just reaching the beginning all over again because in the comics, when Kang is already Immortus, his purpose is he knows all his futures and he knows of all his variants.
Yes.
And the plan is he wants to be the one and only Kang. He wants to like get rid of every other variant that could be affected to him.
But fun fact, there is also a Council of Kangs.
There is also a Council of Kang.
I'm not going to lie. I don't know if they're going to do it, but I would love to see that. I would love to see it. Like him having Kong speak to other versions of himself. Because like you said, yes, he does go around the timeline abducting other Kangs and killing them if they're like, you're not good enough, you're my posted threat. But those who have this same ideal, he made a council of them. And whenever he needs to do something critical, they just kind of group up and they start thinking about how do we do it. And the thing that Kong wants is just full control of the multiverse, of the timeline.
Yeah.
That's what he wants. That's why he's called Kang Conqueror. And the funny thing is that he doesn't do anything bad unless he has. He's kind of like, what was the word I was looking for? Well, technically, yeah, he's basically kind of a fun fact, like the TVA. You know, they won't intervene unless it's absolutely necessary. Kang is essentially a watcher, but that takes action.
Yeah. That's actually, yeah, that's a really good way to put it.
So he watches every time, like he knows what's going to happen. But as soon as something goes out of rails where he thinks or he believes or it ends up being a threat to him, that's when he stops everyone. And there's nothing that anyone can do about it because he has full control of that. That is why he has such a big span and domain of the multiverse and the timeline. In the comics, at least. Here, I'm assuming it's going to be sort of the same.
What I can see happening, if Marvel wants to get technical and like, a little bit clever in a sense, they can. So once the multiverse like, spreads and all that branches, we have multiple Kangs now. So it wouldn't surprise me if in Quantumania we get obviously a variant of Kang. We're gonna get a variant. The question is that I'm curious about: will it be the same variant throughout the rest of Marvel, or like if let's say they do Young Avengers and Young Avengers go against Kang, will it be another variant?
Okay. Oh, you know what? Shit, I see. So like, okay, so I can see what you're saying. So like, we say basically Kang will be sending in variants so essentially like the Young Avengers defeat them, or maybe Ant-Man and the Wasp defeat him, and we think that Kang was defeated, but in reality, that wasn't the Kang.
Yeah, we could have multiple Kangs, and I feel like it's a character that could like come back.
That's an okay. So it's an interesting way of doing it. I don't think Marvel could definitely go that route. I don't know how interesting it would be as for like character development or like at least expanding the universe, but it makes sense. It's something I would definitely see in a comic, that's for damn sure.
Also, on another topic, I don't want to talk about it too much. I'll leave it maybe for the podcast. But the multiverse branch technically confirms, in a sense, all of Marvel is now canon in a theoretical sense.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, by the way, What If is canon?
Absolutely, it is.
The What If series canon. we thought wasn't canon, it is canon. And for the record, I want to clarify something. Louis mentioned something about the podcast. We will be doing an actual podcast episode, which is it's going to be a more
in-depth.
That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. A more in-depth breakdown
analysis
of this.
Or a breakdown
analysis of this show, and we're going to be basically just talking a lot more like the future, similar to what we did with Black Widow and that end credit scene. I'm not going to talk about it now because I don't know if everyone has seen it, but we're going to be doing the same, but now with Loki. So continuing, I like that you bring that up, but yes, basically everything that has to do with Marvel is canon, and it explains a bunch of other things which I'm not going to get into right now. I will be getting into the podcast. So let's just get back into this. Love what Loki did at the end, where he's just like, look, Sylvie, like, listen, like, I can't be trusted and you don't trust anyone. That was a beautiful line because he finally accepts what's wrong. It's not that he's not trustworthy. Yes, he's not trustworthy. He didn't used to be trustworthy. Now you can trust him, but people really aren't going to trust someone who has been a backstabber and who has been playing long con for a lot of his entire life. And the truth is that Loki's will always survive. He said it himself.
Yeah.
If it comes between his life and anything else, he's gonna choose his life regardless. The only time we saw him go like, shit, let me stop there for a second, was with Sylvie and with Thor.
Oh, also a little bit off topic. Someone pointed out. I don't remember if it was on Twitter or TikTok. If you want to see it from a biblical standpoint, Immortus's chamber, like the entire scenario, is something similar to Adam and Eve, and his chamber is the garden. he's the snake,
He's
hence
the
why he
snake.
has the
It's
apple.
the apple. Oh, I like that.
And Sylvie kicked Adam out of the garden, hence when Loki got kicked out, and
I
she
like
bit
that.
the apple and she killed
that.
Immortus.
I like that. Wow, that was ooh. I like the
I saw that, I was
analogy.
like, wow.
That's really clever. Very clever. All right, so let's wrap this up real quick here. So Loki's in another timeline. Love it. He is in the Kang the Conqueror's timeline. I love the way they ended that. And like you said, I love how we see the branch, like the branches of the timeline breaking apart. Super, super excited for what's to come. Obviously, we knew season 2 was already coming. We got that end credit scene letting us know that he will be returning in season 2. But wow, honestly, really, really good show. The one thing I did want to say, like to theorize, was what you basically said, which is anything that Marvel does now and everything that they have been doing is canon now. So that is going to be very, very interesting. I'm gonna just leave this here. This explains a lot better, and this can kind of like prove some of the theories that people have been having about Spider-Man. We don't know, but at least it explains why the villains are gonna come. So that's pretty cool. With that said, I can't wait with Doctor Strange having to clean this whole fucking mess up. That's gonna be fun to watch.
Poor guy.
Poor guy. Goddamn, poor guy. Anyways, guys, this is the end of this video. Make sure, like I said in the intro, make sure you leave a like. Make sure to subscribe if you like these type of videos, and make sure to hit that bell notification if you want to watch more of these videos. That way you know when these videos get released. Guys, thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Good day.